Well, God bless you, and I hope this video finds everyone doing fine. It's a little dark. It's nighttime. It's actually extremely early in the morning, a little after 12 midnight. I decided to take an opportunity to do something that I have been wanting to do for quite a while. I have not shared um, with my Facebook viewers my testimony. Many people know about my heart condition, but they don't really know what I actually went through and experienced. I have what's called congestive heart failure, cardiomyopathy, and angina. I've had 4 heart attacks, and I have a pacemaker. Now, this illness began. I actually had my first heart attack on my birthday of December of '09. So for clarity, today is May 30th, 2016. Now, almost a year ago, August 13th, I was scheduled to have the first of 2 surgeries. Uh, my heart condition had worsened. My blood pressure stayed so high for an extended period of time that it literally damaged my heart. And it had gotten to the point where the doctors were saying that I needed a heart transplant. And there were 2 surgeries that needed to be done prior to the heart transplant. The heart transplant was going to be something that was definitely done further down the line, down the road. So anyway, on August 12th of 2015, I went into the hospital at Cedars-Sinai, and what was supposed to be a routine surgery. I was supposed to be probably going home the next day. Well, when I woke up out of surgery, I felt some stiffness in my neck, and it was at that time that I discovered that I had a tube running out of my neck into my heart. And shortly after that, after having a conversation with doctors, I found out that I wouldn't be going home. And when I say I wouldn't be going home, I'm not talking about I wouldn't be going home at the time we discussed, not in a day or two. I literally would not be going home. The doctors told me my heart was worse than they thought it was, and that I was too sick and it was too dangerous for me to go home, and that I would have to remain in the hospital until they found a donor to give me a heart transplant, which could probably be anywhere from 1 year to 2 years. And so that news was just overwhelming and difficult to bear, difficult to deal with. But in typical fashion, I just began to pray and trust God for some type of miracle. And I tell you, I lay in that hospital day in and day out, still trusting and believing God. And on one particular Monday, I believe it was, I could be wrong, but they had an actual a meeting with a team of doctors and social workers, and they asked me to invite my friends and family and relatives, whoever would be uh, my support group. And it was at that time that they disclosed unto me that my condition was so bad that they were not able to wait on a donor that would take a year to two, that waiting on a heart was not something in the makings, that my I wouldn't live. I needed to have an artificial heart. And they brought in a few models of none, which I was pleased with, especially the last one that actually made a sound. You could actually hear the motor running, and who wants to be heard coming? Not in that way, but all of the models had external battery packs and an external monitor that had to be worn in a pouch around your neck, and the batteries had to be exchanged or swapped throughout the day, and that just wasn't something that sat well with me. I couldn't see myself living with the artificial heart. Not only that, but there were certain limitations that also came with having an artificial heart. Things like not driving, being able to drive, not being able to preach, not being able to shower by myself, not even being able to be alone or go someplace alone, like to the grocery store, to the laundromat, or even for a walk. Now, when I say not able to go by myself, I couldn't just grab any old body. I couldn't just say, come on, Tito and Jermaine, let's go to the store. It wasn't like that. I'd have to have qualified individuals that were trained, that knew the device, that in the event that the artificial heart malfunction, these individuals would know what to do. And so basically I wasn't going to have a quality life, and that's just something that I wasn't willing to accept. Now, I don't knock anyone else who has an artificial heart or feels satisfied with having an artificial heart, but that just wasn't for me. That wasn't my forte. So I trusted God, and I believed God, and I asked for a miracle. And day in and day out, I waited, and every day the doctors came into my room and told me, look, if you want this artificial heart, we'll do the surgery today. And I just kept saying, no, this isn't for me, and just kept trusting God and kept taking the medication. And the short version is, one day they came in the room and they told me, we got good news, Mr. Lee. You're beginning to respond to some of the medication. And they went on to tell me that, look, you're going to get out of here, but here's the deal. You need to come back in 14 days and schedule the surgery to have this artificial heart. Okay, so, I'm agreeing with them, because I got to get up out of this hospital, find myself, get up in church and let God complete the work, And so what happened was they let me out, told me to come back in 14 days, and that I would have to have the artificial heart. Then what happened was, the day before the appointment, they called and said they had to reschedule me, and they pushed it out 18 days further than that. Now, all this time that I was in the hospital, and then got out of the hospital for the 14 days, and then the additional 18 days, during all this time, of course, in the hospital, I was eating healthier, and so when I got out, I was eating healthier. I was watching what I eat. I was taking my meds. I was doing everything that I possibly could to better the condition. And I was also dropping weight. I was losing weight. So by the time that actual appointment came, they looked at me and they said, well, hold on, we're gonna push this thing out about another month, because we're seeing some changes in some of the things that we're testing and looking at, so we don't want to rush into this. And so I came back a month later, and they said, oh, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. I was still dropping weight, looking better, feeling better, and they called me back again a month after that. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were huddling up and laughing and doing a double take. They couldn't believe that I was the same patient that they had originally treated in June or July of 2015. And God just continued to bless and begin to move. And each time I come back, it got to the point where they just decided, look, we're going to push this thing out about 6 months, because it looks to us like every time that you're coming back, you're better. Let me tell you, the God that I serve is able. He's able. He's able to do anything but fail. I was facing the inevitable. Now just imagine if I would have decided to let them give me that artificial heart. I would have that artificial heart right now to this day. But God gave me the intelligence and the faith and the wisdom to hold on and trust in Him. And I'm doing a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I've lost a total of 65 pounds. My diet has changed. I'm feeling better. I'm just really getting ready to take the world by storm, ministry-wise, and just living a new phase of my life. And I'm so grateful to what God has done. Now listen, if He did it for me, He'll do it for you. And it may not be a physical condition for you. It may be your finances. It may be trouble in your home. It may be trouble on your job. It may be some other challenge that you're facing that seems to have the odds against you. But let me tell you, the Bible said, if God be for you, who can be against you? That means the whole entire world or universe can be against you and have decided that they mean you nothing but harm. And then God steps in and flips the script and does it real good. So I'm just so grateful for another opportunity to be amongst the land of the living. I'm grateful for all God is doing for me. I'm so excited about what the rest of my life is going to be like. I truly feel like the rest of my life is going to be the best of my life. I don't feel that I've touched the tip of the iceberg to what God is about to do. I hope you're encouraged. Hope this has been a blessing to you. Just continue to trust God and let God take you higher and higher, deeper and deeper. He's a mighty good God, and He can't do nothing wrong. There's no failure in Him. And guess what? There ain't no failure in you to get it together. May God bless you and let Him take you up higher. Be good. Gary W. Lee Sr. Love you.